The Eagles win it 33-26. The Eagles laying 3.5. The Eagles minus 190 on the money line. Your total at BetMGM set at 44 and a hook. The over hits. This looked to be a blowout at one point. The Eagles were down 26-7 in the third quarter. They come all the way back. Jalen Hurts leading Philly on a 17-play, 91-yard drive in the fourth quarter. Eagles go on top 27-26. Then with seconds remaining, Rams with a chance to win it, set up for the game-winning field goal, and this happens.
Joshua Carty has it blocked again! This time Jordan Davis, the big man, looks for the icing on one big cake. Eagles hang on!
What a call courtesy of Fox Davis, the big guy, 61 yards for the touchdown. He reaches a speed of 18.59 miles an hour, fastest by a player over 330 pounds since 2017. The Eagles, when they're 12th straight at home, on their second block kick of the day, what a return and what a bad beat if you were on the Rams plus 3 and a hook. Just brutal.
Absolutely disgusting beat.
Oh.
Like, this has to be one of the worst beats of the season and one of the worst in the last few years.
Yeah.
Because you think to yourself, okay, maybe the Rams are going to pull out the win. Maybe misses the field goal, but whatever, you still cover. So it's one of those things from a betting standpoint. This one was really tough to watch.
Oh.
But from a football perspective, boy, were you in for a treat if you are simply a football fan. Jenks, there were so many games this weekend where I stood up off the couch. And it takes a lot to get mama off the couch. You know, if her feet are up, you have to push the button and unrecline, the leg rest. But what a game from the Eagles. And I keep thinking about this quote that I think Tom Brady was talking about last week when he was talking about, I can't remember what team it was, but a team that had a bunch of self-inflicted wounds. He said, You cannot win until you keep from losing. Didn't that feel like a theme in the NFL yesterday? Because so many of these games could have been won, at the last minute, and special teams do matter. I think we do all these handicaps, and most of them do not include special teams. Yeah. But I think we saw, very importantly yesterday, that special teams and all these little things, they still matter when the margin for error in the NFL is so thin.
Oh, I think it just goes to show how every single aspect, every single player, every single play, it sounds like a cliche, but it's so true, because how many times did we see a game turn on just a singular guy with an exceptional effort or just a block? Like block field goals, which we'll talk about during the show, were maybe the theme yesterday. Like special teams in particular really turn the NFL on its head, which is why you always hear coaches say special teams are the most important part of any football team, because you have offense and defense, but it's the special teams play that can really turn a game one way or the other. And we saw it again and again and again yesterday. It made for some great football, but also some, head-scratching moments or some fist-shaking moments where whether you were on one side or the other, maybe it affected a bet, or just in general, if you're cheering for your team and you see a blocked field goal or a blocked field goal return for a touchdown, you have to be looking at the stars and saying, oh, you got to be kidding me.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the wildest part of this game was they had an ISO cam on Jalen Hurts and his reaction of this. Did you see this?
Yeah.
Stone cold killer. He didn't even have a reaction. He was just sitting there in silence. And you're like, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. But on the flip side, you heard the call from the Philly broadcast crew. Boy, was it amazing. So what is your takeaway from this game when it comes to the Eagles? Because I think that we hold this against some other teams when they lose games or they win games by, the skin on their teeth. But for this, I feel like this was a statement come from behind win for the Eagles. And I knew it took everything they had, including one of the craziest innings we've ever seen. But at the end of the day, a win is a win in the NFL.
I think it's easy to, as much as you can get down on the Eagles, if you're looking for a negative way to frame the Eagles, it's easy to say, well, this offense isn't very dynamic and you guys are sort of sluggish. And, by the third quarter, that's what people were saying. Now look at the Rams. Now you ran into a good team, a really good team. You're getting smashed at home. And the Eagles had an answer, which was, we can turn up the dial if we need to. It doesn't have to be just the tush push. It doesn't have to be just Saquon. By the way, Saquon had 18 carries, 46 yards. And instead, it's Jalen Hurts taking over, doing the thing that he's been criticized for, which is maybe not being a great passing quarterback. He got passing touchdowns to Devontae Smith, to A.J. Brown. So that will quell some of the A.J. Brown issues with him wanting to get the ball more. This was a team win, and then to do it on special teams, and then to now improve to 19-1 in their last 20 games straight up. This was the biggest come-from-behind win for the Eagles since they came back from a 20-point deficit against the Cowboys at the Vet back in 1988. That's how long it's been. So this is the Super Bowl champs saying, say whatever you want, we are still the champs until proven otherwise. This was a hell of a comeback.
Yeah, and to quantify it on the other side of the ball for the Rams, the Rams were 107-2 since leading by 19-plus points since 1984. 107-2. Like, that just shows how improbable that comeback is. But from an Eagles standpoint, I think it is a good sign when your team can win in multiple ways. Like, I think it just shows that it's a complete team. So, you can win by domination, which we saw plenty of that last year, with Saquon running down people's throats. Or you can win in a game where Saquon's not going off. He's only rushing for 46 yards, and you do it through the air because you have guys like A.J. Brown who can make those big plays on third down, and you do it with your special teams. So I just think it's a good thing that you have these type of wins under your, belt saying, hey, we can win in so many different ways. And that's a sign of a good team, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And it's massive for confidence as well. Not that the Eagles were necessarily lacking for it, but certainly when you do something during the year and you say, look, we've been in this position before, you have the proof, right? Like, you can say, yeah, we've already done it this season, so it doesn't matter the situation that we're in. It's not just talk. We've already walked the walk. So it's taking an already confident team and kind of an angry team because they've been tired of hearing about the tush push and saying, now we even have the proof that we can do this. This is just going to embolden them throughout the season. And I do want to say, the special teams, which we did talk about, like, it was one blocked field goal after another. We talked about Jordan Davis. The Eagles had two yesterday.